Welcome to Geology Now with your favorite news reporter, Hannah Francisco. On this week's episode, we are learning about the hot, destructive landforms known as volcanoes. Today we have brought in a specialized green-haired volcano expert known as Lena Conley to learn more about these extra fancy landforms. Lena?
Glad to be here, Hannah. Do you know that there was a volcanic eruption recently in Ecuador?
Yes, but I vaguely know of it. Mind if you refresh my memory a little bit?
Not at all. Reventador, an active volcano in the East Andes, erupted. Reventador is a stratovolcano, also known as a composite volcano.
Sounds fancy. Tell me more if you could, please.
Well, the eruption started on March 11th, and it ended on the 16th. It wasn't a large eruption or anything, it was just a mild explosive eruption. Did you know that Reventador is starting to get a small lava dome at its summit vent, just like Mount St. Helens?
No, I did not. So tell me more about volcanoes. Not just Reventador, but maybe just volcanoes in general. Because I have a few questions.
Of course. Ask away.
Well, I know that there are different volcano types, but what are they?
Well, there are composite or stratovolcanoes, like Reventador and Mount St. Helens. Shield volcanoes like Mauna Loa and Kilauea, and cinder cone volcanoes like Parasudin and Lava Boot. And there are also lava dome volcanoes like Blossom Peak and many different volcanoes in the Andes.
So what do these volcanoes look like? And describe each volcano in a bit more detail, please.
Very well. Composite volcanoes, aka stratovolcanoes, are taller volcanoes with slopes that range from 35 to 45 degrees. They have a mix of explosive and non-explosive or quiet eruptions, causing them to have layers of different rock in their cone. Shield volcanoes have an average slope of 15 degrees. Shield volcanoes aren't very tall, but they tend to have a large area. They are, as someone put it, short and fat. Shield volcano lava tends to be very, very runny, which is why they are shaped in this way. Lava dome volcanoes live up to their name. They are shaped like a dome. This is because their lava is very thick and doesn't flow very far away, so all the lava piles up around the main vent, causing a dome-like shape. Cinder cone volcanoes also match their name. Their cone is made out of cinders. This is because they erupt explosively, and the lava is hardened by the time it hits the ground. That should answer your question.
Interesting to know. So what about the eruptions? What substances does quiet eruptions make?
Well, first of all, quiet eruptions are quiet because of silica content. The more silica magma or lava has, the thicker its consistency. The same can be said for less silica. The lesser the amount of silica, the more liquidy it is. Quiet eruptions in general create rock with a low silica content, such as Pahoehoe and A'a. Pahoehoe tends to be smooth and rope-like, whereas A'a tends to be jagged and rough. Quiet eruptions can create any number of different rock types, so don't assume A'a and Pahoehoe are the only kinds.
What about explosive eruptions? What do they create?
Well, explosive eruptions are caused by high silica content. The high amount of silica in the magma or lava causes it to clog the volcano's pipe, so that pressure builds up. When the pressure is finally released, it is in an explosive eruption. Some rock created by such eruptions are granite and pumice. Granite tends to have a mottled look to it. It isn't a smooth rock either. It's rather rough. Pumice, on the other hand, is a light-colored rock, and it is also a form of rhyolite that has many air bubbles inside of it, causing it to look a bit like Swiss cheese.
Well, sorry to interrupt this news interview, but Geology Now will be right back after this short commercial break. But before we begin our break, here's Lena with the weather.